So welcome everyone to the first webinar of WMDA. I think we will wait a few more minutes to give people a chance to attend. You can have a look at your menu at the bottom of your screen to see what kind of options you have. If you don't see it, maybe hover with your mouse and it should appear when you do that. So it will be just a few minutes before we start. Thank you. Okay, so I think we are ready to start. Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining the first webinar of WMDA, World Maradona Association. Today's topic is World Maradona Day and how to organize events. My name is Monique, and with me is Martine.
Good morning, everyone.
You should be able to see us, but if you don't want to see us, you can also close the video window. We both work for WMDA, and we will be your hosts today for this webinar. I am doing this webinar from Indonesia, from my house. You can see, maybe this doesn't look like a normal house. There is a holiday today, so my neighbors are home, so I hope the noise will not be too much. So please, I hope you understand, and it will not be too much of a nuisance. So all participants are muted to prevent chaos. But if you go to your menu at the bottom of your screen, there is a Q&A window. At any time during the presentation, you can type in your questions there, and Martine will monitor this window, and there will be certain times during the presentation that we will answer any of your questions. If you have any problems, or if we ask you any specific questions, there is also a chat box, and we ask you to use the chat box for those kind of things you want to let us know. So the Q&A only for questions, the chat box for any problems or when we ask you any questions. And Martine will also continuously look at this chat box, so we will not miss any of your input, hopefully. During the presentation, I will switch sometimes to the World Maradona Day website to point out where you can find any content that I might be talking about. And we also have a few polls that we want to do during the presentation. So I would like to encourage all of you to participate in these polls. This webinar will be recorded. There will be an email sent to you after the webinar, and the recording link will be in there, so you can watch it again or maybe share it with some of your colleagues who might be interested in this topic. In this email, we will also send you links to all the content that we are talking about today, and also all the questions that you might have asked together with the answers will also be in this email that you will receive tomorrow, I think. And finally, after the webinar, we also have a very short survey where you can leave feedback or propose future topics for webinars for WMDA. So please, when you leave the webinar, don't click away the survey. It's only a few questions, so please let us know how we did. So I would like to start with a poll just to see who we are dealing with. Let me bring up the first poll. So please all participate so we can see who you all are. The first question is, have you ever participated in World Marriage Donor Day before, or maybe your organization? Oh, I see people are already voting. And let's give a few more seconds to the people who have not voted yet. Have you participated in World Marriage Donor Day before? Okay, so you should be able to see the poll results now on your screen, and as you can see, there's 91% that already participated. So that's very, very good. I hope we still have some interesting information in this webinar for you that might help you this year with organizing your events. So one more poll just to see where you are all, why you are interested in this webinar. So are you joining because you work for a donor registry or a similar organization? Do you have family or friends who are affected by blood cancer? Or there might be another reason. If you have another reason, you can put this in the chat box, and Martine will share this with us. So please put your votes now. Oh, I see we have an other. So maybe this person would like to share what is the other reason for joining this webinar.
Haha, I have an answer. It's,
so let me share the results of this
yes.
of this poll. So, like the majority is working for a donor registry, which is not surprising, of course. But I would like to know what this other reason might be.
It's one of our colleagues, and the reason is because she works for WMDA.
Okay. Okay, so that's nice to know a little bit more about our audience. So let's start with the presentation. I hope you all can see the presentation. If you have any problems, let us know. So today's topic is World Marriage Donor Day 2019, and it's about events, and maybe we can share some tips and tricks with you. Oh. So this is the outline of the presentation. We will first go into why, then what, and maybe how, and of course, interesting to know when. So let's start. Why should you have an event for World Marriage Donor Day? Well, of course, first of all, it's fun and it's an important topic for all of us working for donor registries. But of course, as you all know, the main aim for World Marriage Donor Day is thank you donor. So I think we think it's important to send out a big thank you to all the donors who selflessly donate to any patient in the world, because the focus is always on the patient, and it's good to focus on the donor once in a while. But there also might be other reasons why your organization should celebrate World Marriage Donor Day. Because, as we all know, in some countries it's more than others, but the public awareness about bone marrow transplantation is not as big as we would hope. So it's a great way to create public awareness. Another idea for you to to reach a goal is to set it for World Marathoner Donor Day and try to reach it with a campaign or an event or anything else that would help you reach this goal that you set as an organization. And of course, you can build brand recognition in your preferred donor pool, but also just the general public, and not only locally, but worldwide. So I asked some organizations that already organized events in previous years. And this is a testimonium from the Brazilian registry. And the reason that they decided to have events for World Marathoner Donor Day is to promote awareness, as you can read. And also, they set a goal. Their goal was to update the donor contact information, which they successfully did, I think during 2 or 3 years that they participated. So it's a great way to see where there might be a problem within your own organization and use World Marathoner Donor Day as a way to get to this goal. So I have another poll for you. Because there were already many of you who organized events. So how many events do you think took place last year? Up to 150, around 250, or more than 350? I see it's divided, this but the majority is right. So last year there were more than 350 events organized for the celebration of World Marathoner Donor Day, and there were events on all continents. So this is something that we are very happy with, but we would like to see it grow a little bit more. So what should you do? What can you do? What are other people doing? This is an infographic that we made last year, and we shared on our social media. I'm not sure if everybody has seen it. So it's called 7 Ways to Get Involved in World Marathoner Donor Day. And the thing that we always want to point out is that all forms of participation are encouraged and appreciated. Doesn't matter if it's a big or a small event, a big or a small contribution, because not everybody has the same tools available. So it can be big or small, but that doesn't matter. So what can you do? You can organize an event locally, as many of you already did, of course. You can collaborate with blood stem cell organizations that are in your area or in your country. If organizing an actual event is a little bit too much for your organization, you can also start an online campaign, which can be also something very big, but also something very small. And something very easy, of course, you can support us on social media, promote this amongst your own audience, for the general public to support us on social media. And then there's these 4, which we mainly made for the general public, but you can use these also as a tool to promote your own events or bringing the cause to attention to the general public. So people can share their stories, and as donor registries, you must have many stories that you can share. What we also see is that this human a story about actual humans is very it touches people. So it's a very good tool to promote blood stem cell donation and to bring more attention to this cause. You can promote for people to become a donor, which you already all do, having donor drives, but you can also do this online. And then, of course, there is our book that people can buy, and they can also donate to World Marrow Donor World Marrow Donor Association. So this is these are two stories that we took from the website, but I'm not sure if all of you are familiar with our website. So I will just switch briefly now to the World Marrow Donor Day website, which is this one. And you can see here in the menu, there is stories. If I click on there, you will see all the stories that have been shared with us from donor registries, but also from patients and donors directly. You can share these on your own social media. You can search for your own stories to share. But I think there's already a lot of information here readily available for you to use. Well, I just briefly mentioned donating to World Marrow Donor Association and buying the book. So if I go back to the website, there is also a page called Get Involved. And this is maybe a good website or a good link to share to your own public, to your own audience, because it has all the ways that people in the general public can get involved by becoming a donor and also by organizing an event themselves. I will come to the media materials later, but there is also a download button here. People can share their stories, as we talked about before. And here is the PayPal button and the buttons to find the book, if the book sharing live, if anyone like to buy that. So a question that is being asked many times by people is how to become a donor. And on the WMDA website, we have a tool. I'm not sure if you all have seen it, so I will just go to the WMDA website. There is here the menu for donors, and then there is become a donor. Because sometimes maybe you have to deal with people who are living in a different country, and you might not really know where to point them to. So we have a tool here where people can insert their country, their age, their health, their BMI, and then if there is a donor registry in their country, the contact information will pop up. So maybe this is a good tool that maybe some of you can also share when you share information about your event, or if you do donor drives, if there is people who maybe not living in your country. So I just briefly mentioned doing online campaigns. So this is also an infographic that we made before and shared on our social media, but I'm not sure everybody's seen it. So here's 5 simple ideas to celebrate World Marrow Donor Day online. So since the first World Marrow Donor Day, we have been, well, not baking, but buying a cake, a World Marrow Donor Day cake, which we always used to open the day. It was always the first post, the thank you donor cake. So last year we had the idea to do a cake off, or bake off, but a cake off. And there were many people actually who participated in this bake off, in this cake off. And this is a way to show your gratitude to the donors, which doesn't take much time or effort or money. I just briefly mentioned before the media materials. we have on our website. I will go into them later a little bit more. But we have many social media materials like profile frames, headers. They are all on the website available for download, so you can use those. But of course, you can also come up with a campaign yourself or an idea yourself and create your own social media content. I will show some examples later, but it doesn't have to be very big or elaborate or cost a lot of money or effort. And also, like on our social media, we share many information, like the facts we do every year, the infographics. We have tweet suggestions on our website, the patient and donor stories that I mentioned before. All this information you can share to spread awareness in your community. And of course, if you are a member of the general public, or if you see an event that's in your city or in your country, and you are able to attend, you can go to a World Marrow Donor Day event organized by someone else and share this on your own social media. So this is the post of this year for the kickoff. You can see the picture is I think from Canadian organization that participated last year in the kickoff. So we hope to see many cakes this year again. This is something that we came up with because it's the 5th World Marrow Donor Day celebration this year, and we already saw in the previous years that there were a few organizations that lit up buildings, famous buildings, or maybe their own hospital, to draw attention to stem cell donation. So we thought it would be a nice idea to have like an extra campaign opportunity for all the donor registries out there to join this year for the 5th celebration in the campaign Light, Red, Blue, White, because we would like to see the colors of World Marrow Donor Day. But I mean, if you want to do a different color, it's also good. So we had our WMDA meeting this year in the end of the winter, and we lit up the lighthouse there, and the lighthouse will also be lit up during World Marrow Donor Day itself. And we made this little video, and we hope that many of you will join this campaign opportunity. So I will just show the video now. So we hope to see many organizations joining and see many red, blue, and white buildings this year on World Marrow Donor Day. So let's see. So now I would like to give you some examples of events that have happened in previous years from around the world, just to give you an idea what is possible, what can you do. So this is actually the World Marrow Donor Association office. It is a GIF, so the thank you donor balloons were waving, but I was not possible to input the GIF here. But this is an example of making your own social media content, which is easy and doesn't cost a lot of money or time, but which looks nice and gives out the message that we want to give on World Marrow Donor Day, which is thank you donor. So this is a campaign that was done by the Canadian Blood Services. So they set a goal. They wanted to target a specific donor population, so donors with a diverse ethnic background, and they make this online campaign, which looks really fun and appeals, yeah, to people. Just because the way it looks, but also because they have a call to action, the Get Swapped hashtag. The Australian Bone Marrow Registry, they have been making inspirational videos now for a few years. So they take the donor patient story to the next level. They make a video of it, and they feature donors and patients that talk about their experiences. I think the Spanish registry also did a very nice video like this last year. And we think it's a great tool to draw attention to World Marrow Donor Day and inspire people to become a donor as well. So the Thai National Donor Registry, they actually organize a huge event every year with many different little events inside. So they have donor patient meetings, there's information stands, like donor drive kind of information stands, but also for the people who attend, there's a lot of fun ways to participate with selfie photo opportunities, and so on. And they also always contact celebrities to help raise, to help reach a broader audience in the general public. And so the South African Bone Marrow Donor Registry already lit up their building last year, or the local hospital. So we hope to maybe invite them this year to do it again. And something that we also see a lot of times, it's sporting events. So this is a marathon that was organized in Peru, in Lima. And sporting events are always a great way to bring people together and to raise awareness about a certain cause. Okay, so I have another poll to see what you thought about that. Yeah, this one. So the question is, do you feel inspired by these examples? Yes, if you are, or you already have an event in mind, please share them in the chat box, and we can hear about what kind of ideas you have yourself. If you're not inspired, please also share with us why not, because maybe we are doing something wrong here. I have to say it looks good. Let's give people a little bit more time. Okay. So everybody is inspired. That's very good. So I hope we will see many wonderful events this year on World Marrow Donor Day. I don't know, Martine, did anyone share anything in the chat box about the details of their event that they wanted to share with us?
No, not yet. No, no extra information.
Are there any questions?
Not yet, no.
Okay. So if you have questions, please ask, because this is also one of the reasons that we wanted to do this webinar, to give opportunity to people to ask questions. So we are here now. Oh, I see now that I didn't share the results. So here you can see I was not lying. Everybody is inspired. Okay, so let's move on to how. And this is, of course, very dependent on what kind of event you want to organize, but maybe we can give you some tips. So as you may know, we use hashtags, and we encourage everyone to use the hashtags. So we have the hashtag WMDD, and also followed as a general hashtag, but we also have the hashtags every year with the year. So 2015, 2016. And of course, we have the thank you donor hashtag. So you can search for these hashtags on social media and see what other people have done. Just see what they came up with, and have a look at what might speak to you and what might inspire you to come up with your own idea. We also have a memory page on the website. So I don't know if you have seen this, but I'm going back to the website now. So this is the menu, and you see here memories. So if I click on that, we go to the memories website, the memories page. And you can see the rounds here represent all the years that we celebrated World Maradona Day already. So for 2018, there's some information, but you can also see the after movie, because we make an after movie every year, which we hope is very inspiring and might give you some ideas for your own events. We also make an impact report every year, which is also here. You can have a look at that. Well, this is the statistics. That's not so much for events, but there is also a button, see all 2018 events, because we are working now, of course, with the event map of 2019, but maybe you want to see what did people organize last year. So you can go here, and then it opens a new page with a map of last year. So you can see them all here in the map. You can zoom out, zoom in, but you can also just go to the list and see what has happened last year, which might give you inspiration for your own events. Then, of course, you should have a brainstorm. And I think it would be a good idea to have also people who are not directly working on communication, social media, PR, or anything that has to do with organizing events, but also people who are working in other parts of your organization. Maybe they have fresh eyes, they have fresh ideas, and together with a bigger group, you might come to something really amazing. And then, of course, you need to start planning. And this was actually quite difficult to come up with, plan your event, because there are so many things you can do. But of course, you always start with making a planning. And I think maybe it's good to make a very detailed planning. You should assign tasks, of course. And if you do a physical event, but also if you do a social media event, you need to design materials. And then, of course, do promotion for your event. So one of the ways to promote your event is upload it to our website. And so that we know, but also that other people will know outside of your own community that you have an event and what is going on in the world. So I made a little video to show you how to upload your event. So you can do it on our website. Let me leave the pointer out. So you can see it's worldmaradonerday.org. That's our website. And if you want to upload your event, you go to events worldwide. So you click on there. It takes a while. I made this a little while ago. There's a little bit more events already uploaded now. And then you go to the button Add Event. The website is a little bit slow sometimes because there's a lot of information on it. So to be able to upload your event, you should register. So if you have not registered yet, you should do that, and then you can log in. So log in. So you can register on the right. If you have registered, you will get a link where you can log in. So this is the information you can put in. So the title of your event, a description. So you can put you can type the description in your own language, but we ask also to put it in English so people can understand what is going on. You can set featured event, featured image, but you can also put many pictures there and have a whole gallery. The date, the time, the location. And then at the bottom, there is space for all your social media links. And that's it. Then you hit save and it should be on the website. It will appear in the list and it will also appear on the map. So that's one way to do the promotion for outside your own community. But we also have a lot of materials on our website, both printed materials as well as social media materials. So I will go back to the website. Oh, it's actually at the bottom, media materials. But it's also as a button in the how to get involved page. So I click on here. So on the left, you see the printed materials, and on the right, you see the social media materials. So there are logos, posters, flags, roll-up banners even. These printed materials all have the possibility of printing it without the date, because the date is changing every year, and if you print a roll-up banner, you might want to use it multiple years. So we now also give the option of no date. So it says September the 3rd, the 3rd September of the 3rd Saturday of September instead of the date. And you can also insert your own logos and your own information on this printed materials and have them printed with the logos of World Mayor Donor Day and Thank You Donor already in there. The social media materials, there is also many that you can use. Of course, the two logos, the World Mayor Donor Day logo, the Thank You Donor logo, but we also have ready-made Facebook headers, profile images, promotion banners. There's also a press release template that you can use for your own promotion of your own event. There is information in there already about World Mayor Donor Day, but you can input the information about your event. You can put your own logos in there. You can change the language because it's a Word document, so you can change it however you like. We also have a document about the background of World Mayor Donor Day that you can use for your promotion materials or put something on your website. There are ready-made tweets, and I will put here also the World Mayor Donor Day facts that we will share in the upcoming weeks, and also the infographic that we share every year. So you can download all these materials from our website and use them for the promotion of your own event. So we have another poll. Yeah. So we are curious to know what what is the most limiting factor in your organization? Excuse me, for organizing an event or a campaign. Is it financial resources, qualified staff, you don't have enough time, or are there other reasons? If you have other reasons, please put them in the chat box, and then Martine will share them with everyone. Okay, so please, everyone vote, please. I know it's a hard question. Okay, I think we have a clear picture of what are the limiting factors. So I will share the results with you, so you can see you are not alone in having limiting time. I think this is something that everybody struggles with. There's too many things to do in only 1 year, 1 week, 1 month. So the reason that we are making all these tools and all these materials is to try and help you decrease the amount of time you have to spend on promoting World Maradona Day. I don't know, maybe there is something missing or something that you really need and we haven't provided it. Please let us know. You can always email us at the WMDA office. So yeah, we cannot give you more time, but maybe we can give you more tools that are helpful. Yeah, and financial resources is also, yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the final part, which is when, and I hope you all know when it is. So this is the save the date that we made earlier this year. So I would like to show it to you again. You might get some ideas also from this little video. So let's share it. So we hope many of you will join the celebrations of World Maradona Day on the 21st of September. There are also organizations that celebrate World Maradona Day around this date, which is totally fine. You can do it whenever you want. So do it for a whole week, or maybe on Friday, not on Saturday or Monday, it doesn't matter. We would just like to invite everyone to join us again this year to thank all the donors, because they really deserve that. I have one final question. And I hope it will be 100% yes. So, will you join World Maradona Day this year? I see people don't have to think long about this, which is very nice to see. Okay, so everybody is joining. That's awesome. So, Martina, are there any questions? Or any comments?
No, no questions yet, and also no extra items in the chat. So
okay, so well then I would like to thank everyone for joining this the first webinar of World Marrow Donor Association. Like I said in the introduction, maybe some of you have missed it, but you will receive an email after the webinar, I think tomorrow, with the recording. I see there's a question. With the recording of the webinar, links to all the content that we talked about, and the Q&A, but we haven't had any questions yet, so, but let's see. So
we do have a question, Monique.
We have a question.
Alicia wants to know if an organization has won in the past, will they be able to win again?
Of course. Yes. Yes, there is no limitation. If you do something awesome, then and we have a jury that selects the winner. So it's not a limitation that you have won before.
Perfect.
So there's another question, I think.
No, that's just
that's just a comment.
the reply.
Okay. So one small reminder: if you leave the webinar, please take a moment to fill out the survey. It's very small. It's only a few questions. If you think of any questions that you have after the webinar, feel free to ask them. Send us an email at the WMDA office. I will put the email address, if you don't have it, also in the email that I mentioned before. And also the next WMDA webinar will be on September 6th at 1 p.m. Central European Time. And it will be Carolyn Hurley talking about the 2020 WMDA standards. So completely different, but maybe someone in your organization is interested in that. So please let them know. There will be another webinar about the standards on the 6th of September. Well, we will stay online for a little bit more, just in case anyone has any questions to ask us or to give us any comments. But I would like to thank everyone again, and I cannot wait to see what kind of events you come up with for World Marrow Donor Day this year.
And I would like to add, Monique, that during World Marrow Donor Day, you are always very active in following what's going on around the world. That's also why it's handy to add your events to our website, because then...
And use the hashtags.
Yes, and use hashtags, because that makes it very easy for us to share things.
To find it, yeah.
And to find it. So just to let you know that we try to be involved during the day itself and share all that you are doing around the world, which is always very inspiring to see and very, very cool.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so thank you all for joining. If you have any questions, let us know.
Thanks, everyone.